Hi, my name is Jameelah, and I just wanted to do a book talk about some books that boys might find enjoyable. So I'm going to start first with a classic, Pat the Bunny. Pat the Bunny is one of those books that has interaction in it. As you turn the page, you can do different things with the book. So here you can touch. It says Judy can pet the bunny. Now you can pet the bunny. And as you go throughout the book, there's different things the child can do with the book. Play peekaboo and smell the garden, look in the mirror, and feel daddy's scratchy beard. So that's Pat the Bunny. Another book that a young boy might enjoy, and I'm talking about infant toddler at this point, it's Dear Zoo. And I even read this with my preschool students and they enjoyed it. Dear Zoo is a lift the flap book. So I wrote to the zoo to send me a pet. They sent me an elephant. He was too big. I sent him back. And you go throughout the book and you lift the different flaps to reveal the different kinds of animals. Speaking of zoo, if zoo is one of those topics that interest boys, then you might want to get a couple of books on that topic and maybe put together a theme bag. So I have this little bag here at Target in the dollar bin. And inside is just full of different books that relate to zoo or zoo animals or even wild animals. So this one, At the Zoo. Mix and Match Safari Buddies. This is a really fun book where you get to turn the pages and create different kinds of animals, switch their heads and bodies and create different animals. Safari Splash. Another book that requires the child to interact with it. That way the child is just not doing what they think is passive activity, passive listening. They are able to interact with the book. Another book that we can share with infant toddler boys. So here we have Puppets. Old MacDonald Had a Farm. All the puppets correlate to one of the animals inside the book. So you read, you sing along, and as you do this a couple of times, because of the repetition, they'll be able to participate. The E-I-E-I-O. This book, Eyes, Nose, Fingers, Toes. As they get into their toddler stage, they can act out the different things in the book. Clap your hands and make a sound. Wiggle your fingers all around. Bend and reach to touch your toes. Stand up straight, point to your nose. And as they get a little older, then you want to introduce different things like magazines. So here's one by Caris Publishing called Baby Bug. And the good thing about Caris Publishing is that they have magazines for all different developmental levels of children. So you can grow with the company as your child grows. Another really fun book is this one right here. It's called Astronaut. You see the fun shape of it, so I think that will make boys very interested in wanting to know about what's going on in the book. It's very colorful, it's big, it's rough. You can, move around with it and not fear, ripping a page or anything. And this book is really cool because on one side you have a rhyme, and on the other page you have an activity. So the rocket's ready to fly into space, and astronaut Andy can't wait to race. Can you find Andy's space helmet? Can you find Andy's space helmet? Zoom alone, watch them go, high above the ground below. How many lakes can you see on the ground? And then you can have the child count the different lakes they see. And the book goes on like this with a rhyme on one side and an activity on another. As your child gets into early elementary, kindergarten, first grade, then you can start introducing nonfiction text to them or informative text. because that's where they're going to be heading towards in school. You know, reading to learn, not learning to read anymore, but reading to learn. So you want to get them on the right path with that. And the good thing about informative text is that it's kind of set up like how they might find their textbooks in school. So you have a table of contents in the front, then you have your major headings. Some of them you might find subtitles, little blurbs of information, that sidebar reading that they're going to have to do, and that goes on for a while. So we have Wacky Wheels, we have the Animals of Australia, and I really like this book. It's another find that I found at Target in the dollar bin. It was $1, and it's such a great book, Animals of Australia, if you have a boy that's interested in those kind of things. So it tells them all about the different kind of animals they might find there. And if you have a boy that's into rocks, well, here you go. Everything Rocks and Minerals by National Geographic. And just like I said with the nonfiction informative text, you have the major headings, you have your subtitles, you have your information, you have your little sidebar information, just like they're going to find in their textbooks in school. Now, if you have a boy that's into comic books, that's fine. It's still reading, okay? So you definitely want to promote the reading of comic books. One of my personal favorites, Archie. And then you have graphic novels, which is just a really fancy way of saying really big comic book. Then here you go. It's thicker, more to read. And also the Japanese version, manga. So it's still reading. If you're a parent that finds yourself with difficulty reading, but you definitely want to promote that in your child, you know, their literacy development, then by all means you should still do it. Seek help for yourself. You know, go and speak to the counselor at your child's school, their family worker, and try to get access to some of those resources available in the community, some tutoring for yourself. But in the meantime, you can still read with your child. So you might want to try some books on tape. Well, they're even on CD now, so books on tape, books on CD. You can even download stories from iTunes. We have cute little gadgets like this. This is Leapfrog Story Pad. You turn it on, there's already stories programmed into it. You can just sit side by side with your child and listen to the story being read aloud. And also, don't discount wordless picture books. They are very important. They are full of wonderful, wonderful images that tell stories. So you don't always need words to tell a story. Pictures can tell stories as well. So you and your child can sit side by side, working together to figure out what story is being told by the pictures. This book is called Train Stop. And there are so many other reading resources out there that boys might find interesting. All you have to do is look. All right, thank you and good luck.